All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. And by the way, the Florida Mutineers hype pack is actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
If you take some time.
The facial expressions this guy's showing us are just absolutely hilarious.
The Dave Petty peace side is so funny. The man's fingers just spread out so much. But this matchup is going to be a pretty good one, okay? Florida Mutineers, a team that has showed a lot this year, and actually one of the teams that were undefeated at a point in time, I believe 2-0. With the recent count too. Yeah, exactly. They're going against Boston Breach, who is outside of OpTic Texas and FaZe, the hottest team in the CDL, and they're also undefeated 3-0 currently. This matchup is going to be good, but Florida have a real true test for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, their last couple of matches have been tough. They started off 2-0 looking good, but I mean, they had to play Atlanta FaZe and OpTic Texas, and that's been very tough for the Florida Mutineers. But looking at this Florida team, like, there are some things that have been great for them. I mean, Owakening and Skies throughout Major II Qualifiers have been fantastic. They've tested these teams that they went against. They've had some close maps against Atlanta, against OpTic, but still there's a lot to be desired from this squad. We know that they have a high ceiling, so we expect to come out in a match versus Boston Breach, where Boston, they're great, but they're not dominant. So for the game fuel keys to victory, Florida Mutineers start strong in hardpoint. Boston outscoring teams 21-13 on opening hardpoints. They're #1 in the league in that differential. So, you know, Boston, a team that's been hot off the press in hardpoint, 9-1 their last 10, definitely have to work it out for them. And Owakening continue SMG dominance, 1.2 KD this season. I mean, we saw the glimpses of dominance at the Major 1 when he was popping off, right? They weren't able to get the win in that Tuscan, but that was a record performance. So he's just continued that individual play since then. It's been wonderful. And then opportunity in the control, Florida 5-3 on Tuscan, Boston 1-6 on Gavutu. In this series, it is Gavutu for the control. So that map is an absolute must win for Florida when it gets to that control.
Right, and take a look at this roster right now. Take a look at their schedule as well. I tried to show some love in their last loss. You guys were saying, you know what, it doesn't cut it. Doesn't matter who they go against. I believe that Florida beating a team like Boston would definitely solidify themselves as one of the most dangerous middle-of-the-pack teams. If they're able to pull it off in fashion, of course, right? Because Boston, they're not slouches. And speaking of which, Boston has been looking better than ever right now. At the beginning of the year, we all thought, okay, you know, Methodz is Methodz, but what is this guy Big Cap all about with that big 8 spree he had during the Kickoff Classic, right? But then the thing is, it wasn't just those two. You saw players such as TJ and also Nero, and Nero is quietly always taking over the games when it matters most. This Boston team is scary, and if you let your guard down, they're going to walk away with that big dub, because at the end of the day, whether it's hardpoint, search and destroy, they're ready to bring it, man. And when it comes to the game field keys of victory, I think that actually Boston, outside of the maps, they need to really grab hold of controlling these other game types.
Yeah, I mean, control is definitely going to be the mode they have to improve upon most, but they have an opportunity on maps 1 and 2. Florida have never won Gavutu hardpoint, and they have also never won a Desert Siege search and destroy. So maps 1 and 2 out the gates, you just have a massive opportunity. Just steal those up. I mean, Boston have had success on both of those maps with game for keys to victory. Get rid of Bocage hardpoint. That map is not in this series, so good job there. Florida's 1-4 on non-Bocage HPs, and then mix in some B hits on Tuscan search and destroy. Winning 48% of offensive rounds, have gone A 27 of 28 rounds, right? So let's switch it up, maybe hit some back and forth raps, can take some information from Toronto. They're the king of rap backs. Then figure out control to take that next step. That is really what's holding them back from moving into like the top 4 area is control. They're 2-8 in it in the last 10. They have to get better. 7-game hardpoint win streak, 2nd SNE round win percentage, 11th in control round win percentage.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I like the map choices right here, because usually we see Bocage go to Florida, which doesn't make sense to me at all. But also when it comes to control, I want to see Big Cap actually make some noise. You take a look at the stats overall, you know, hardpoint 1.13, search and destroy 1.27. You go to control and he's sitting at a 0.84, and it's like, yo, big man, we know you could take over the lobby, get comfortable and make sure you do so. But the fact that he's sitting amongst veterans, I believe that's what's going to happen.
Well, it's tough because, like, I mean, for Capsidal, like, they've played Gavutu 7 times and he runs an SMG. He's just going to get body when they get onto that map, right? It's just
going to be hard.
Plan. They're going to have to continuously try to get Tuscan because it's the map they've had, you know, some success on. But we'll see if they're able to work on their Gav going into it. In this series, it is Gav, so maybe they're coming with a new look.
Okay, who do you think is going to win this series right here?
I'm going to go with Boston Breach.
You going with Boston?
I'm taking Boston. I think this is a team that's polished now. They've been working on their stuff. They're looking good in hardpoint. I mean, 9-1 speaks for itself. I think they take this.
I mean, there's only one acceptable answer when it comes to this. Wait, can we put on my one just for a second? Yo, Zenny for the winnie, baby, okay?
That's facts.
Well, we've been seeing
Ultra
from
Zenny.
Exactly. What we've been seeing from him lately, he's just an animal. I'm taking Boston. I'm going to be real. I say they're going to take it 3-0. I'm feeling bold and brave about this.
I'm worried about their control. I think they take it 3-1. I think they take it both hard points in S&D.
All right, well, we're going to find out. So let's send this over to Miles and Chance. Fellas, I missed you. How you doing today?
We're doing good, Veli. We're pretty pumped. Today started off with a bit of a spicy get-go. I think Chance is one way of putting it. Of course, LA Thieves, the struggles continue. A team that ain't struggling, though, Boston Breach, brother.
Not at all. I mean, they've really hit their stride. I think one of like the biggest things early on throughout stage one for Boston was just like inconsistencies, especially from the SMG players, which is expected from rookies, expected for their role as well. But I think so far through stage two, they've started to iron some of those things out. And I got to say, Miles, 3-0 record. They are looking good.
Well, they're looking great, and they're looking very keen. We're already in the game. Here we go. Boston Breach, map number 1. We're going to go to 2 into the hard point right away, and already it's an absolute fiesta of fun and frantic, frenetic energy. As there you go, the kills are through. And Mutineers have got it. There we go, mate. What an opener that was.
I mean, hey, you'll take the opening break on gavutu. By the way, I mean, we haven't gotten into pick and bans quite yet, but it is a super interesting map selection that we have across the board. This gavutu hard point, one of them, because I think he got noted in the keys to victory right for Florida. 1-on-4 on every single hard point map that's not named Bocage, or at least 1-4 combined. So they're 0-2 on this map, but their only 2 losses are to Atlanta and London. And they've gotten bullied out, but like if you're losing to those 2 teams on this map, like I don't know if we actually have a good answer on how good Florida can be on gavutu hardpoint. But hey, early on, so far so good.
Yep, looking all right so far. Second hard point's up now, and Boston Breach in that Matrix Rain green. Boston Mutineers in white. TJHaly brought down TJ. Nice shots into the second player. Ship's now open and ready for business. In the hard point we go now for Boston Breach, trying to find some time here. Only 30 points to climb up. That's going to make it all even Stevens now in the second hard point of the map so far. TJ on the 3 spree, finding these kills. Good shots. Vivid somehow goes down as well as TJ remains alive on the point.
Yeah, that's an awkward moment right there from Vivid. I don't know if he accidentally auto-mantled on the tank or simply just missed shots, but either way, you'll have Boston and TJ taking full advantage of that fact and making a nice little comeback. Methodz patient to look for that kill, but hey, he's gonna deliver. But inside the point, it looks like Florida have gotten the break, but the bad news is Boston had flipped those spawns, so Florida just put themselves in a very difficult spot long term.
Yeah, they have indeed. We'll see if it pays off though. They can make the break and get somewhere out of here because they've still got to get across the P3, top right hand side of the map. That's coming up next. I got with TJ, not able to get too much more out of this. Last few seconds going the way of the Mutineers, and that's a wonderful thing for now. However, across the map we go into the beach, and you can see already the ordnance being thrown. Lethals, tacticals, you name it, over towards that ringside. P1, it feels like only yesterday we were there, picking up time. The Mutineers lead now starting to dwindle as Boston Breach have got themselves in here. 2 players up from the top side of the ring. Over by the deep beach is going to be TJHaly. Can he find anything? He's out there fishing, and he ain't looking for fish, friends. He's trying to find these Breach players, and here he goes. Catches one. There's a big old Nero in the hard point now as the lead will change hands, but TJHaly trying to make the play. Can he do it? Yes, he can.
Oh, they're even dealing with the Suns as well. I don't know if that's from the enemy or from his teammates, but he simply finds a way. I mean, it is absolutely a mistake for Florida early on to even lose those spawns to this hill, but you strip away 10, 15 seconds, get a little bit of time of your own. I suppose you will cut your losses and take it. At the very least for Florida now, I mean, you're thinking about that rotation anew. Methodz actually in a very interesting spot, but with those squad spawns, Florida certainly hit this new hill first.
Yeah, they're going to be all sweet now. So again, they don't do a great job there on P3. Keep the Boston Breach players out of there as long as possible. Over down to the 4th, and it's going to be good old tower. And this is an easy one to accumulate a great amount of time on chance, but it's also a terrible spot to be in if you do get pinned in that top left-hand side. So we'll see how they go. Mutineers, early time, going their way. The attack now from the front, the only angle they've really got to work with now for Boston Breach, and here they go. TJ trying to make his way in. Skies and TJHaly like the kill feed over to Nero. Doesn't get a bloody thing as Vivid guns him down. He's still over the big cat. Can he find anything? And the answer is wow, yes he can. At least one to be grabbed. Florida Mutineers though, 30 seconds remaining in this one. Should get a ton of time, and if they play their cards right, they're able to get out and get across the P5 as well.
It needs to be noted, by the way, Capsidal has 14 kills already, and this is only, part of the way through P4, so I don't know where he found them all or where he managed to collect them. I don't think I've seen many, like, 3 pieces in the feed, but, I mean, certainly his level of production has been there, but as far as rotations go, I think it has very much been the case. Whatever team rotates first has been able to win this hill, and Boston have the clear-cut setup. 2 players pushed up towards the boat. Well, TJHaly at least able to take down the first, and he might have a nice little battle with TJ potentially for these back spawns where TJ gets the edge. So Boston so far, nice and secure for P5. Yeah,
P5 is a seemingly impregnable fortress right now. Very difficult to break on in. 3-man hit through the boat side, and it's going to be a little bit of action now coming in from P1, but that's going to be Capsidal. Good coverage. Takes care of at least one. Owakening trying to make his entrance now, and he makes it known, but Capsidal, he tries to storm the gates. He beats him back. Brilliant work once again out of Boston Breach now, looking to pull things back, take the lead. But whoa, Capsidal, wrong window, my friends. A lot of Mutineers players out there, and atop the boat they are, trying to find these shots. Good work out. Skies tags in. No more to be had. Boston Breach seal the hard point yet again.
That was a huge gunfight win by Methodz there. That was Skies for the glide bomb in that moment for that next kill. And that would have been the only way for Florida to cut their losses, right? You give away a full 60 on this hill. Boston able to take over that lead. And, well, the glide would have been nice to have, but they don't give. But now back to Florida, the battle for P1. This is one of the best money hills in the game. And Florida, it looks like they're going to win this rotation. Maybe an opportunity for another swing in momentum.
Well, we'll see. Now we'll have a take a quick look and see if they can pull back the lead. Let's also go for a quick listen in with the Florida Mutineers.
Outer ring.
I'm stunning it. Army take.
Trying to help you on point.
Dead. Nice.
Yeah, I'm jumping on top of the truck.
In the ring.
Yeah, he's shelling out. He's shelling out. He's on our fence. On our fence.
Yeah, our fence is the research. Our fence is the research. Okay, guys.
Alright, I'm watching left. Nero child dead.
One's in my tank.
Our
I stunned it.
Outside hill, watch that TJ.
I need him.
He's in the hill.
Yeah, he pre-fired me. 2-1-0.
No one close for me.
Close left TJ as well.
Yeah, he already went ring stairs. Nero's ring stairs. Nero's ring stairs. Our ring stairs.
I'm just going short coming on top of.
Red tower, bro.
I'm pretty sure one's pinching us.
Yeah, hold mid.
I'm
gonna mid. I'm
When you pick a
mid.
pinch,
Yeah, I mean, I have a
I
sub.
want to give him a tank.
that's fine.
Shelling
I'm
P5
trying to
jump.
help you. I'm going to hill.
Mid tank is open. That's
I'm
it.
going to hill. I'm going to hill.
Yeah, I think I might be hitting through ring, guys. I see nothing P5. One's P5. One's P5. I got
Cap dead.
I got nade top out.
Nero's holding it. I'm one shot. They're going to go my mid.
I got need him in. Coming to home.
No, Nero, one shot. Nice.
Dead.
Top green.
Can you get time? Yo, chop out what I saw.
Yeah, top up.
Top cap. One shot in between. And then he's gonna be on you guys' hole.
I need to
Cages in oil, I need help.
Yo,
I'm trying to
weak
get
as
mid.
fuck, Nero. I have
trying to get
Go top out.
Right tower. I don't see.
I need top right.
One was their mid tank, I think, guys. You could have went ring. Bunker, TJ.
Yeah, bunker got me, bro.
Yeah, bunker, TJ left.
Bunker done. More top right. I don't see any boat.
Make what you will of the comms. In my mind, Florida has made two key mistakes in this game that right now is just costing them. The first go around on that rotation in P3, well, they allowed the spawns to get flipped early on, so they started to have to fight from the back foot, and then we talked about how important that rotation is to P1, and just kind of dropped the ball. Like, player challenges out, TJ gets the kill, and Dave Patty doesn't even attempt to get the trade, and ever since then, it has been nothing but Boston. Nice and secure on the rotation. You got Capsidal roaming around ring, at least for a moment, but Boston right now, they have just stormed away with this game.
They're walking away with it over 200 points now. Crossed, Mutineers looking a little standout here on Gavutu, but it is not over just yet. Hard point now being accumulated still by Boston Breach. We did not see the first break come through in the first set of hard points. In the second, will it be the same fate for the Mutineers? Capsidal is looking to slow this play down tremendously. He didn't slow down though. The boy hit Mack 5, flying through. Massive kills out of Methodz and Nero. The cleanup crew is there. The final 25 points, and dare I say it, Chance, I think the game ends here.
This is just brutal. I mean, Methodz, if he wants to, he can just go ahead and full rotate to the next hill. But yeah, you can still win it. 15 seconds to go. The full setup and in the feed. Nothing but green. Boston looking to take full advantage of the two mistakes in my mind that Florida make and just turn that into a dominant performance. Not quite over yet, though. Maybe need to finish this final few gunfights. And it looks like Florida actually forced that rotation. But look who's there. Boston, nice and easy on the road up.
And really, from start to finish, sheer dominance, true control, and seemingly flawless gameplay. Boston Breach take map 1 with what looked like at times, I don't want to say it, maybe relative ease. The Mutineers were just caught unaware then, seemingly every time. Brilliant stuff out of Boston. An incredible opener to the series.
And look, you know, Capsidal was obviously lighting up the kill feed for a long time. With if SMG doing that on this map always means your team is going to be having a good time. But I think it really just comes down to, like, early on, Florida won the opening break, gave themselves the good spawn, set themselves up long term. But right before that first P3 rotation pop, they just got bullied out, let that flip happen. And even on P1, where they could have started to turn things around, just never had a moment. And I think literally, after they lose the breaks to that P1 hill, I don't know if they score more than like 5 to 10 seconds for the rest of the game. Boston just never looked back.
Yeah, they really didn't look back. It was smooth sailing from then on out on Gavutu. The Mutineers, a little bit of soul searching to do. Desert Siege, though, as we trade the rainy shores of the Solomon Islands now for a little bit of desert action. Hope you brought your sunscreen, pals. It's going to get very hot indeed. Quick look at the highlights, though, across that Gavutu hardpoint, as it was a fast one. Just over 8 minutes again, as the Boston Breach players certainly put in the work. TJ, sweet pieces comes out of him all across the board, and a wonderful set of hard points chance despite the Mutineers opening breaks.
And I would say a solid game for Boston overall too, because early on, at least like statistically, we saw the Capsidal, you know, he started 14-6 or whatever it was, but Nero on the flip side was a little bit slower. He started, you know, 2-8, 2-9, something like that, but turned things around, didn't make any bit of a difference. And again, I think that was, I mean, maybe 3 or 4 different hills in this game that Boston just played as perfectly as you could want. Even Capsidal, a little bit of flourish, showing off the Betty Boop.
Indeed. Well, we just got an update from Carson Stats Guy. Of the last 6 hills in that hard point for Florida, they accumulated 13 points.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Not that many.
That many? Unbelievable workout. Boston breach. Truly watertight defense there. Not easy to do a Gavutu, but they certainly put on a show for us there. We'll be all looking at that one. Learning, taking little tricks and tips for ranked play. I can assure you, friends. Wow, what a great opener. Unbelievable stuff out of them. Again, Desert Siege now awaits, though, as we get through the highlights. It really was all Boston breach. My word, Chance. This is quite a strong opening. A statement, if you will.
As far as like the pick and bans go, by the way, this is the map that Boston ended up like getting into the mix. It was a Bocage last time that we talked about Florida. That's the only map in hardpoint they've had a ton of success on. That was the map they beat Boston in the major. So all Boston does is ban that one out. So Gavutu is the map that replaces it. And well, they already beat him on Tuscan once in a dominant performance like that. Boston have to be feeling good. We go to Desert Siege for map 2. Boston beat them at the major. Admittedly very close. It was a 6-4 victory, but a victory nonetheless. And I would say, just thinking even more long-term, the most interesting decision I think of at least the pick and bans, Boston were the team that banned the Tuscan control. They wanted the Gavutu where they have that 1-6 record. So they let that one through. That was their decision to make. And I think it'd be interesting to see how it pans out, just because in my mind, Boston, it's like them and Toronto are the 2 teams that I think might have the best bump in control now that the changes come through.
We will see. We'll get a chance to put that to the test again later on when we get to our control game mode. Map number 3, but for now, Desert Siege on the cards. Now, for those of you, set the clocks back, set your old time machines, think back to that major. It was a real spicy victory for Boston Breach and the Ninja Defuse in the final round there for, of course, Boston. And I will say, I mean, Florida Mutineers, it was one hell of a series, man. It was back and forth. It was a real mixy performance from both of them. Speaking of performances, though, this is the top performance now in this series from both sides, and no surprise, Chance, Capsidal, absolute unit of a man. And he came out with he clarified the whole height issue thing. I think you saw that clip.
Yeah, on camera, he is confirmed. And obviously, Miles, we got to see and meet him in person at, well, not just the kickoff, but the major. 5'11". Is the official confirmation that he was able to give. So everybody thought I was lying when I said it back in the major, confirming his height, but there you go. Everyone else on his team, just that short.
They're just tiny. It's so small. You know, like taking the ring to Mordor small. But either way, it's players who are not small. It's true tall stature across the board from the Mutineers. So they have got quite the task ahead of them now to bounce back in the search and destroy. Again, a team with a decent history against one another here. A little bit of a budding rivalry we may see again throughout the long and what has already been an arduous season of Vanguard gameplay. Man, it has been a war for a lot of these teams. Search and destroy and Desert Siege, though, here we go, Chance. We're joking, though. Capsidal's actually massive. We're joking. You know we're joking. Come on, team. Come on, people, get on board.
Well, I mean, to the map we go. Obviously, statistically, Boston look a little bit better pretty much across the board. But in spite of that 0-2 record for Florida, again, one of their losses was to Boston. It was a 6-4 game, so nice and close. And obviously, if you have that like on-land experience going against a team, you start to figure out a little bit of their playbook, right? You know that the Ninja Diffuses over towards B might be coming your way. And, you know, Capsidal occasionally likes to pull out the sniper rifle. I'd say for Florida, though, it is important. Got to pick up that bomb.
Double back a little bit and grab that one. Up towards the B-bomb site we go. B-bomb site has moved ever so slightly in the latest patch, again, to mostly avoid player collisions with the wall. A bit difficult situation to get out of for most. So now we may see that come into effect. But here we go. Sneaky plant from Skies over towards A. The battle of the back lines now won. Vivid wins that. Nero, he will be taking a seat in this round. And here we go. 40 seconds on the clock. Here's the defuse.
Yeah, that's the kind of gunfight, by the way, that just single-handedly wins you the round, because now if you want to flank, you're going to have to take your sweet time to hunt Vivid down, but Capsidal might be able to find him. Finds the free pick for the 3v3, but now it's about the ARs on the cross. Dave for the first and Dave for the second. Capsidal, the man that had to spend the first 15 seconds after that bomb goes down flanking. I mean, now just simply has no time to work with. I mean, those players are up top, but I think if nothing else, this is just try to find kills, make sure Dave Patty can't get any streaks, but the round is certainly chalked as Florida execute in round 1, get the bomb down. And again, Vivid with that big win on the flank.
Big win on the flank. Capsidal with the double back there. I mean, Capsidal's certainly making a meal of it. He takes care of the 2 spree that DavePaddie found himself on. Eliminating streaks now from that first. Yeah, it's a consolation victory indeed, but it's one you'll definitely be taking. Mutineers, though, nice opener. Fast mark from Skies. Pays off indeed. Now, we'll see them on defense here on Desert Siege. Here we go.
And keep in mind, you know, as bad as that first Gavutu hardpoint was for Florida, you get a bounce back in the Desert Siege, and then you have like the Gavutu control to look forward to, where Boston has that 1-6 record. So there is no, you know, no chalked mentality, I would say, from either team for the moment. So just a nice little bounce back round as Skies up top gets caught. TJ gets that first blood, but that B-bomb shot not wide open because Vivid is there with the snipe.
Yep, Vivid, again, those who are surprised to see him sniping at the Major. He put on quite a show for us. A brilliant marksman indeed. But 3v3 now, with just over a minute to play with. DavePaddie sees at least one on the cross. Or Nero, throw that shoulder and maybe die, son. DavePaddie's not going to miss this one out, but he's playing this very slow, waiting for the rest of the team to get in position. There's seemingly all or nothing here on the A-bomb site, as you've now got the Boston Breach players trapped in, and here comes the pinch. Awakening.
Oh, no.
Quite the Herculean man. He can't quite get another window. Does manage to find the kill before going down. Vivid on the back line, no, bringing one through, and it's going to be TJ now making his way out. No bomb in hand, but the flank is now on, and it's a 1v1.
That bomb being down, though, is the massive problem, right? DavePaddie can just play around it. You can have an AR post up in the back of your spawn, wherever you want to go. TJ has to make that move, but I guess Dave doesn't have that intel, because if he repositioned, I mean, obviously once TJ picks it up, he can swing back over towards A, or maybe make a hard read on the rotation. And Dave, he was really expecting that to wrap out, but TJ, he'll be able to get that bomb down for free.
Okay, here we go. So all of a sudden now, things look a little different. This could be, yeah, the 1v1 now. DavePaddie has to find the kill and make the defuse work out. Plenty of time to do so far, but here comes the fight. And oh, baby, this is a tense one already. TJ's on the move. He is absolutely roaming the map here, slowly but surely checking every possible corner. The quick check now on the bomb. TJ's going to have to get eyes on this. TJ eyes on, and it's an easy round. Massive recovery out of Breach.
Hey, dude, this is Vanguard. I feel like this is the only game where like everyone just kind of concedes, gives up, and just hops the bomb in situations like that. Like, in spite of the fact that Dave did have a little bit of time to work with, you know, maybe 20 seconds on the clock. At some point, you just feel the pressure and you're like, I don't know, man, too many things to check. I'll just hop it and pray. And I mean, admittedly, sneak defuses have been pretty on point this year. A ton of success in that regard, but I still think, just in my mind, this game takes it to the extreme.
Yeah. Also, it's funny thing, and like, you can kill him in a very, very short amount of time in this game as well. So give it a go. 4v4 though now, bomb for all the Mutineers, making his way in towards B. Opening exchange of gunfire now, a nade or two from DavePaddie. Nero's got to go big here. Nice nades out of DavePaddie. It does land. Methodz repositioning towards that back tower side. Vivid, it's his job to take care of him here. It's a great spot to be in. Watch that bomb. Capsidal can't get any more than one now. TJ once again on another flank. Vivid brought down. Snipe's now been eliminated. 2v2 situation.
And you have both played for Boston, by the way, spread at the deep portion of the map. And I mean, technically you have the pinch, but that doesn't make it easy at all. And I think Methodz has the intel on both players, able to find the first, trying to hunt down the next. A little bit of time to work with.
20 seconds to go. You have to be aggressive here. And Vivid, he was brought down, so there's no snipes now to worry about. But Awakening now versus Methodz. Here comes the push. It is fast indeed, and he's doing the best job he can. Methodz chased him down. Time's not going to be on his side. Too far away. No way in hell he manages to get to the bomb in time. No, there it is. A hard-fought battle from Awakening, buying as much time as possible. We say goodbye to the B-bomb site.
Yeah, a little bit dicey as well. I think Awakening, as soon as he misses those shots, that is the, oh, moment, gotta go. Let's get out, turn and run, but ends up playing around the clock perfectly. Nice little round from Florida. And that's despite of the fact that that was, what, a nice little 3v4 clutch. You had the double flank coming through. I think TJ was the guy that was able to get all the way in the back for free. So clutching up the 2v2 towards the end. Nice work from Big Wake. And, hey, Florida, they will take those.
Great round again. Nice bit of Desert Siege action we've got here again. Two teams with a bit of history on this map. We'll see how we go once more now with Boston Breach on offense. Oh, hello. We're hitting mid. They bang the doors wide open. There's nobody home. And with that, no trades will go down. However, now you've given a lot of map presence to the Florida Mutineers. They are quite fanned out across the entirety now of Desert Siege. But here we go. TJ's in. Ah, he's found one. Wait a minute, Tej. There's a player right next to him. He's got no idea. Manages to almost get away with his life there. But now over to Nero. Eyes on davePaty, no idea where he may be, but here comes the fight, and the timing's not going to work out, and this is quite an unusual round indeed, Chance. What is going on? Nice nade out of Nero. A nade back from davePaty. What is going on here? Nero's last man up, and he's brought down again, and what a weird round that was.
Dude, I have no idea. I mean, the fear to push Dave there in that situation is obviously because there's someone up in the tower, but I can't believe, one, Nero ever moved at all, and two, even wanted to challenge the guy up in the tower, but I mean, that is a very delicate situation where davePaty just does a wonderful job of staying alive and letting his teammates put in that work. And I mean, I didn't even see the kill feed. It felt like everybody died at nearly the exact same time, but even Skies towards the end was going on the full flank. So a little bit of work from Dave turns into a fairly dominant round. By the way, 7-3 as Nero might get a haircut.
The Sultan of Slaying right now here on Desert Siege. Capsidal over by Bomb. Ian TJ making a bit of a rap here.
But dude, he's behind him again.
TJ's always behind them. He doesn't spawn here, friends. He has to make the run, but he has missed out on the bomb player. Skies. Oh, there it is. Another disastrous moment, potentially averted. Big shot, set a big wake, wins the fight against Capsidal now. 2v3. He's tagged up. He's in trouble. Methodz there. Finally puts him down. Vivid now in the 1v3. He's got a sniper in hand, so again, at this sort of range, he's in trouble. There we go. Another good round out of Breach.
Dude, they're just playing. I mean, they're down like what 3-1 in round count and still just playing with all the confidence in the world. That is twice in a row now on defense. Both Cap and TJ just flying up out of trains. I mean, uncontested, unspotted. I don't know if like stuns are even being tossed by Florida to check it. And obviously one of the rounds they're able to clutch up, but it's just like a dagger. If you are Skies back train by yourself carrying the bomb and you get shot in the back from your own spawn, like I think Florida definitely needs to make that adjustment because Boston playing with full confidence.
Yep. Seemingly, you know, it's true impunity, man. They just run around doing whatever they want. TJ's got first blood once again, this time from the front lines. There we go. Fast part by B. Player brought down, though. TJ trying to find a little bit of even numbers now, but it's back to the 3v3. Awakening eyes on that bomb site. The pressure now mounting, and who is that? Is that davePaty just above the bomb site being real sneaky? The entirety of Boston Breach back on up. Awakening. Oh no, massive win out of Nero, but davePaty on the flank. No, he's been spotted. He's been brought down. It's all on the Skies.
I mean, that's all three in front. I think he knows Capsidal's there too, but yeah, no more challenge coming out there. Boston able to clutch up. I think that was a moment where davePaty like just has to go and get the kill on the guy one shot, but leave his teammate in a tough spot. Nice shots coming out, but doesn't make a difference. The double chal is in, and that is now 2 in a row for Boston, taking full advantage of that B-bomb site being wide open. And I mean, funnily enough for Florida, that was almost the strat on defense of the anything you can do, I can do better. Triple stack over towards outer trains, trying to play it aggressive, but couldn't quite do it better there. Take another round loss, and we are all tied up.
All square here on Desert Siege. Waiting for Vivid to hit some snipes, man. Some snippet snaps. We've seen him do it before, and he's real nasty with that scope. Here we go. No one out there. It's a dry desert for now. davePaty with eyes over towards the bomb, waiting for their players to come in and try to make the hit. Oh, Nero definitely saw a shoulder. He definitely saw a player or two. Still holding that A side of the map, though, is going to be Boston Breach for now. They're keeping Awakening pinned at this point in time. And at times, it does feel like you need 3 men to sort of hold him back. But here comes the hit towards the bomb. It's going to be brought down, Chance, and already great looks from Breach on defense.
I mean, that's just unfortunate with the angle you're trying to plan for.
Man.
I think probably his left toe got shot. Once again, by the way, that like top train flank is wide open, so I know Vivid finds the kill, but he's got to be aware of this flank, and that is exactly where Capsidal's pushing from, but I think they have an idea. Perfectly placed stun. Vivid's making moves, but he gets caught. I like the play idea, but Methodz is there making the smart play, and davePaty left 1 HP without a dream. 3 in a row for Boston Breach, and I mean, maybe just a small mishap with the bomb plant location, getting caught by Nero in the back, and in spite of the good stuns coming through, just that constant pressure on the flank is a little bit too much right now for Florida to handle.
I think with Mutineers, like, they need to either be decisive enough when it comes to a hit where, you know, you don't give TJ enough time to manage to rotate around the entirety of your spawn and hit that backline so easily, or you just turn around and try to deal with him. He's done it so many times now. I mean, outside of 1 round, TJ's been on the flank. Keep an eye on that minimap. He's number 3. Watch these routes he's taken so far, and at this point in time, very different look indeed. Two players going through mid, over towards that A side of the map. Being opening kill. If Awakening can get involved, no, Capsidal gets it. Trades either side. TJ's gone. Nero does manage to get the trade there. It's a 3v2. Now it's a 2v2. Oh, baby. Bomb still in the hands of Breach.
Yeah, a little bit of lucky protection coverage right there for Capsidal to get taken down before he got the next free kill. But Skies was there to help his boy, and well, now you're in a 2v2. And each teammate right now responsible for a bomb site on defense, but they obviously know that Skies is here, but it looks like instead of dealing with him, they might want to go deal with that snipe potentially on the flip side. Vivid is wrapping back, and he might be here just a little bit too late.
Oh, not too late. Just in the nick of time to take care of Methodz, but you still have to worry about Nero. Bomb planted now, 2v1 situation. Vivid from up top. Here comes the tags. Here comes the teamwork, though, and that is going to get it. Nice work out of the Mutineers. Man, brilliant stuff, though, to read the push over towards the A-bomb site. You see both the nades and the tacticals come out. You think, okay, they've committed to this one, but no, it was just a ruse. That fast rotation for the Mutineers really saved the day, and Skies, off to the dunes he goes.
I mean, you know, Skies 2 for 2 right there for protecting Vivid, like, from the outside while he's getting challenged and winning his team that round. But I gotta say, I mean, Boston on defense, flying up trains, all the confidence in the world, going on these fast flanks repeatedly. And on offense, Boston just bursting through the middle of the map, completely getting control in, like, both Capsidal and I think TJ the other time. I mean, both on offense and defense, Boston are living inside of Florida's spawn. I mean, granted, it's a tied up game, but Breach has certainly been making moves.
Like Florida also, though, learning on the fly, certainly adapting to the mistakes they were making earlier, and now see if they can't find something of it. Skies has got a gift for Nero. Here it comes. Whoa, 57 HP. Great throw, though. Not able to quite land the entire kill, but for now, Mutineers still holding over mid. Same can be said. Oh, no. Methodz with the first blood. A big one over by the B side of the map. That's going to give, you know, the numbers certainly towards Breach there, but here comes the bomb towards A.
Look who's here, though. I mean, Capsidal again, just playing aggressive in the trains. He spots Awakening up top just to feed his team that intel. And
huge
piece of candy, free kill, knows where Awakening is. Easy 2-piece for him. And Skies, best of luck in this 1 versus 4 where you have no map control and you are completely surrounded.
Wow, Capsidal, what a slow and sensible push that was. Holds off on the trigger as well, getting the full lay of the land before letting rip. Saw the player up top, catches out of Dave Paddy, and Awakening's here for the trades. Bang! Beautiful stuff from Capsidal.
And again, just dominating the outside of trains. I mean, again, on offense and defense, Boston are just trying to own the map as much as possible. And honestly, sort of playing around the snipe as best as you possibly can. So they are just consistently making these plays, and admittedly, still a very tight game. Florida's certainly not out of it, but they've just had a lot of problems to solve. But this is the, if you can do it, I could do it better strat from Florida, stacking up that A site, trying to make that hard counter.
And they're actually going to wrap a little fast here, but the heavy commit towards B is already paying off for Boston Breach. Vivid trying to find something here. He spotted Capsidal out. This might be a nice nade. Lands it. Big damage. Not enough to get the kill, though. Here comes the remaining members of the Mutineers. Awakening through mid. Awakening with 2. Straight onto the bomb. We're going to go there for Vivid now. This is huge. Massive coverage opportunity now for Skies. Can he go 3 for 3 on keeping Vivid alive? This is to keep him in the map. Gets it. We're going to round 11.
Round 11 we go, man. The sneak diffuses. That is the way of Vanguard. And by the hair of his chinny chin chin, he gets it. But hey, that quick commitment is there. The nade's on point to send out Awakening for the 2-piece. I mean, again, Boston have had the advantage in the majority of these rounds in this game, but Florida have turned into maybe 2 or 3 nice clutches just to get to this round 11 moment. And obviously for Florida, they need it. You do not want to go 2-0 down in this series. And Florida will be on the attack. I think Vivid barely misses a shot on the cross, so I think they know Capsidal is out here. That's why you hear the nades ringing out.
Oh, here they go! Straight to Capsidal. Awakening with the opening blood. TJ trying to respond fast here. And it's a fast round indeed. TJ and Methodz land the nades. Vivid's now so tagged up, has to run for it. Dave Paddy, reinforcements on the way, but now he's his own reinforcements. The last man up. And here we go, Boston! An absolute slaughter in round 11. Wow! What a search and destroy. That one came to a close a little too fast.
And that is a search and destroy where I think, at least for that round 11, both of those teams, the comms, had to have been furious. I mean, as quick as you can be. If you have Vivid calling out one player crossed, and what happens for Florida, hit him out as quickly as possible. Whoever that player was, I think it was Capsidal, is then screaming at his teammates, everyone is on bomb, please throw your nades. And well, 2 nade kills in that final round just softens that blow and makes Boston Breach's round that much easier. Incredibly close game. Florida had a couple nice clutches, but that is 4 players for Florida going negative in that search and destroy. I mean, a weird round 11, but that fair. I mean, it was close to being a dominant Boston performance. It was close.
Really close. I mean, a brilliant turnaround in a few of those rounds again for the Mutineers, but woo, what a map that was, friends. That was a spicy one indeed. You can never doubt, you know, Breach and Mutineers when it comes to a good Desert Siege. They've yet to fail us, friends. Well, with that, we need to take a break. I need to calm down a wee bit. We're going to throw in a quick commercial, but we come back. We got ourselves more Call of Duty League action.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Yo, Neighborinos, welcome back. We are 2-0 up in the series for Boston Breach, going up now into control. And this is he looks at the last round, that sweet round 11. Again, we just saw there in Desert Siege. Absolute heroics. The Mutineers there, brilliant stuff. But in the end, just a little too something special. Boston Breach, they just love those round 11s, Chance.
I can't hate them, especially when you're winning them like that. Clutch on Desert Siege as well, and that is a nice one for them to get a little cushion in the series. And I mean, funnily enough for Boston, obviously this series is not yet over, but they have a win against Toronto. They've gotten wins against all of like the middle of the pack teams and sort of separated themselves in stage 2. Ironed out some of their inconsistencies. Nero and Capsidal a little bit more consistent. And like, I know their next match is London, and that is probably like the true test for this team. But I mean, Miles, they may have set themselves apart.
Well, if they can take on London as well, I mean, that changes the way we look at Boston Breach entirely. Now, quick look at their stats. This is Gavutu control, and obviously it's not great. It's not amazing, but now we're playing, you know, of course, with segments in play. This should be real different.
Yes. Okay, so all these stats, horrible on Gavutu control. They're 1-6 on this map, but Boston picked it in this series. Now, granted, at the Major, they played like Florida on Tuscan, and they got bullied out, lost 3-1, so that probably had an impact as well. But they're 4th overall on this map for their average ticks captured. And granted, it's not like being 4th overall. It's not like they're doing anything crazy, but they are towards the top of actually playing the objective. And if you got a man that has a 1.74 KD, like you could run it up just a little bit more. I think Boston might be one of the very few teams that actually see a noticeable change in how good they are at control now that we're going over to segments, not kills. See if it actually pans out for them. And hey, they're making moves over towards B right off the rip.
Yep. So 2 players now on that ring side of the map. You got Methodz watching middle, and over towards the A side is going to be Nero now playing solo. Let's see what he can do. No kills just yet as a tense stalemate developing here across Gavutu skies with that first blood. Capture progress starting to work out over towards A though, Chance.
And I think really the 2 players for Boston you have to zero in on are Nero and Capsidal, right? I think a 0.81 and 0.84 respectively. And for Cap, that's not a good start, excuse me. Dave able to take him down, and Florida maybe don't have a ton of control over towards A, but they got the rest of the map on lock, and Dave now soaring through. I think that is not even a single tick captured yet. Strong start for defense for Florida.
Indeed. Speaking of Spark, we'll see him play a little bit later on today with the LA Guerrillas, of course. Gunner's not feeling well. Speaking of not feeling well, TJHaly, 1 HP, now taken care of. There we go. In comes Vivid. 1 trade to his name, no more to be had. Nero still capturing A. First segment gone. Note it down, friends. It's going to come into play if we have to go to the final round, and over towards B we go as well.
I was about to say, look at it. I mean, the players from Florida are so far away as well, but they just win the gunfights. I think that was what TJHaly just rips him out of the tank. That could have been a very nice opening moment, and maybe still an opportunity for Boston to put a little bit of pressure on B, but they're a little bit slow to the jump, and I think maybe going back to the standard. Number 5 is going to be watching across TJHaly maybe for the next one, and DJ just gets zapped. Any opportunities they could have had to go over towards B, they just get completely shut down. Less than 30 seconds on the clock now, but maybe still a little bit of time for Boston to try to set something up.
16 lives for Mutineers left on defense to throw at these zones and keep them safe and sound, but for now we might be saying goodbye to A. 29 seconds there on the clock. Progress at B as well. Oh baby, gotta go big now. They're gonna finish up A, no problem, but the battle's going over by B, and it's all onto Methodz. He's brought down now again, so 1 segment gone. A's taken care of as well. A great opening start here from the boys of Boston Breach as they're gonna continue to keep the pressure on. Mutineers battling to get out of spawn. This little headlock, but the rest of Breach have managed to keep him in for a brief period of time. That's a 5 spree now for Nero.
And you play for these streaks, I mean, hardcore. You take your time, you get your teammates to come out and bait for you. If Capsidal's in the middle of the map, send him forward and try to find those next 2 picks. A glide bomb on a map like this could absolutely be the difference maker. Less than a minute on the clock, though. Obviously, Florida, they have pumped the brakes, slowed this game down to a screeching halt. As I think in my mind, we're just waiting to see if Nero can actually find those next 2 kills.
He's trying, can't get it done. Skies assassinates him. Capsidal just on the outside of the zone. The second he touches foot in there, his presence will be given away. Vivid playing real sneaky. TJHaly taking care of business. Now Vivid looking to keep the spree going. Nice shots. That's 4 now in a row for him. 30 seconds remaining. Great job out of Florida to burn the clock here. Indeed. However, the presence still being felt. Breach now still approaching towards B. TJHaly from inside. The little water buffalo finds himself those kills. Google it, friends. You know what I'm talking about. Staying alive. Final 15 seconds, Johnson.
Yeah, I think right now Boston just haven't had, I mean, they've had quite a few opportunities to actually make progress over towards B and obviously have one tick, but most part just getting picked apart by the ARs along the way. Last ditch effort, gunfight on point. Capsidal actually wins it, so the opportunity is still here.
Oh, it's still here indeed. TJ, he's got himself over towards ring. The coverage is there. It's a 4-man hit now from the Mutineers, trying to get on board. Here we go. Pressure is on. Kills are through. That should be it. Whoa, there's the last player. TJ slides. Get on the point. He does. 0.4 of seconds left. He's stunned up. He's tagged up. He's doing this all alone right now. He secures a second segment. He may get killed here, but that was a crucial little moment of play when it comes to balancing the OBJ towards a potential final round.
Did he get that final segment, by the way? Did he actually secure number 2?
He did. He got number 2, baby.
And that might be the perfect round then that encapsulates why Boston, I think, actually are going to appreciate the change coming through. I mean, even if they get one tick, I think you're happy with that round over towards B. Get the second look at it just so I can be confirmed. I know it was very close, but yeah, there you go. Progress at B. So they were never really in a position to actually win that round on offense. Any opportunity they created, they got completely shut down. But they get the +5 on the ticks, and that's why I think Boston might like this change. Florida, they have their work cut out for.
Unbelievable stuff there from Breach. Great opening round for them. Over to the other side, though, Mutineers making their presence certainly felt over by B. They've got the kills, but not necessarily the progress towards that zone. So here we go. Foot race is on. Methodz keeping those players now, the Mutineers in their spawn. Dave Paddy trying to get out, and if he can, over towards B, they once again go. But the defense now from Breach holding the players from Mutineers back. Here comes Big Wake, though. Here comes Big Wake. Nice first opening kill. Couple more here to be had. Dave Paddy maintain the ring control, keep his team in the fight.
And this is brutal. I mean, you're just stuck in the spawn trap. You got Methodz just hanging out in your spawn, and this is just time and attention that you have to give to him. And it's not just Methodz. Capsidal's there, too, picking up the 2 pieces. And you're just stuck. You're in P1 praying for these kills. Everyone else trapped in their spawn. 0 ticks of progression. Like, you have not stepped foot on either point. And this is brutal. It is just the spawn trap of time, and like, kills be damned. Doesn't matter how close it is. We are over towards ticks in Florida. They are just being suffocated as Capsidal's running the show.
Capsidal's taking the lunch money right now. Final 10. This has been an unbelievable round of defense from Boston Breach. Methodz 11-7, 11-6 for Capsidal on the 5 spree. Makes it a 6. One more and he gets the glide bomb, but he is out of here. And man alive, Boston Breach 2-0 in control.
Yeah, and for all I care, Capsidal could pull out a sniper and look for a pick to get that glide bomb. If he can get that, that might well be done and dusted for the game. And again, this is a man that had a 0.81 or 0.84. I can't remember which is which, but very low KD on this map. And I mean, hey, now he's double positive. On top of the fact that, again, it is segments based. Boston have actually had success on that map in this regard. They just never been able to pull defense for the round 5s. But I mean, even if we get to that point, which, I mean, hey, you never know. We're 2 for 2 on defenses. Boston in a much stronger position. Let's see if Cap can get that glide.
3, 2, 1. No. 3, 2. No. It's not going to happen, but he's waiting for it.
Maybe in like 13 seconds.
He's still playing it very patiently indeed. The rest of the team as well. Defenders over towards B for the Mutineers once again. It's going to be Sky's.
Oh, he got killed.
He got killed. No glide. Nice shots out of Methodz there. Rips the tibbity top of Vivid off. TJ finding kills as well. Pressure now slowly starting to develop for the Boston Breach players. Wow, how's Zin still going? Kills are sweet. He pushes back Skies, keeps him suppressed. Dave Paddy's cap just got spotted there for a very brief moment. First segment gone. Slowly but surely, we're going to see them work through that.
Hey, you're picking up a lot of kills as well. I mean, Sky's the last man to even try to defend. Methodz is there for the read. So, I mean, this is a strong start as well. You talk about the ticks. I think this is now +8 in the Boston Breach category. But obviously, if you got Methodz on a spree, TJ in the spawn, you never know. Might be able to turn it into an offensive win. So, Boston can afford to apply that pressure. Methodz can't quite find number 6. And Florida is there to shut him down. I'd say for Boston right now, they're putting a lot of pressure in the spawn, but you do actually have to fight and get that P1 control before you really have any hope of ever capturing B.
That's Nero's job right now, trying to make it happen. Good timing on Awakening. That's going to be P1 in their hands. All he has to do is stay alive here. Oh boy, finding kills as well. 3 now for him. TJ, pressure on the back line. Dave Paddy wins it. Capsidal now reinforcing the front. Overalls the ring, becomes a conveyor belt of players marching forward now. More bodies on point. Nero's on a 5 spree here, potentially able to get streaks at 14 and 9 overall, looking for the kills. No one able to get in a B just yet. But here we go. The capture in position. This is the setup right now for Boston Breach. They've got the numbers. Dave Paddy thinning the herd right now. Oh, the Skies as well. Wow. Methodz still fighting tooth and nail though, and Awakening now in this position surely puts this play to rest.
Yeah, Boston, they were way too cautious. I mean, they could have doubled up in the tank, got 2 bodies on point, but maybe once again just caught in a situation playing for streaks. Both Methodz, Capsidal, and Nero have all gone at least 5s and, well, choked their way for the glide. So certainly a missed opportunity for winning the round. Again, Boston, great at creating the opportunities, horrible at actually converting.
Nice shots out of Skies, still alive. 10 lives, the Mutineers remaining, 16 for Boston Breach. All that tells you is necessarily how aggressive a team can play right now, because again, the OBJ is the way to get it done these days in control. Plenty of Mutineers players out there, plenty of bullets, guns are up for them, gunning them way down. Boston Breach starting to fall like flies, 12 lives to the 10 now, less than 30 seconds on the clock.
And I think I mean, they're +8 in the segments column, so even if Florida win their round on offense, like perfectly. Well, actually, I suppose they'll just win the game if that's the case. So, yeah, there you go for Florida. They're not going to get defense for the round 5. They're going to have to pull off an old offensive win at some point. Those final 10 seconds, maybe Capsidal trying to make a last-ditch effort hero play towards B, but even he gets sniffed out. So Florida fairly clean on defense. Skies, by the way, will finish this round on a 5 spree, so maybe his opportunity to look for a glide bomb, but that segment battle, Boston firmly have that in their hands. They just have to clutch up 2 defensive rounds back-to-back.
Yeah, not impossible. It sounds a lot easier than it really is. Here we go for Mutineers. This is going to be a tough one. Offensive round win is essential. They have not had such luck on the objective, indeed, as the Boston Breach players have managed to steal away from them. Big stretch out of Vivid. Get yourselves back into the game, friends. This is it. Going to be a big one. This is map point for the Mutineers, just to keep them alive in the series, but they have to go huge here. Here we go, over towards A.
And again, Sky's got to keep in mind, he's got that 5 spree in the back pocket. Vivid, very aggressive through the middle of the map, and the timing might actually work out for him. He can make moves over towards B, but he does get caught. I don't think I've seen Sky's in a feed yet with the spree, so he's still on a 5, but an interesting little start for Florida.
Yeah, not bad at all. Now, while we're sitting here on the defensive round, Boston Breach need to make the comeback. Let's go for a quick listen in with Boston Breach.
Oh, 2 top boat, 1 shot down, you low oil.
Yeah, low oil. He just ran out.
Then 1 top left boat. Okay, top left boat, Caesar.
Got it.
It's gonna be oil, right? I need backside boat.
Yeah, that thing right
They're both on it.
Are they?
They were.
Okay.
Mark could be top boat now.
Okay.
You guys have vision.
Top the tower, top the tower. One shot, top the tower.
Okay.
Go to tower.
Top boat, Caesar, one shot.
Okay.
Top boat, Caesar, right side, 1 shot.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Hit it.
I don't see him.
He's there.
Yeah, look low.
He's at it.
Awakening outside their hole, going
Okay.
cliff for time.
I don't see this guy.
We missed him.
Low hole. He's on the ladder.
Oil.
I heard that. I don't see
He's
him.
at oil Reese. Done.
P5, nice, good job.
Oh, low cliff.
Low cliff.
Dave's low cliff. He's low cliff.
Top cliff, Caesar.
Dave is low cliff.
Caesar, 1 shot. Top.
Nice. Dave is still low cliff.
Low,
Go
left front.
Okay, make it A. Don't fight it much longer. We
I'm
have
nading this.
22 lives. Yeah, nade.
I'm here to help you with this.
Absolute backside A.
Guys, we have no one right, wrap right.
Dave on me left. P5.
Okay.
Trying to get
P5 on me, Dave.
I'm knitting
bring
A.
him top ring right now.
He's front house, Dave.
Yeah, I'm knitting A.
Top ring dead.
Dave's front house.
Nice.
Heard
Okay.
that.
I'll see top house, weak, Dave, 1 shot. He stole the bounce. Our ring tank,
Okay, our ring tank.
top house and on point, we can fight that.
Front house,
I am, yeah.
Front house, Dave.
Front house Dave.
Nice, last one point, did you get him off?
1 shot.
Got him.
Nice. No, top boat.
guys.
Yeah, nated.
We chalking that? We should chalk
Yeah,
it.
we have
got
it.
it. I'm gonna watch deep house 1.
Deep right truck,
Where you
guys,
at,
1 shot.
Your ring's open.
I'm playing low right, top ring's open.
Okay, I got deep.
I'm just playing the tank here.
Their top truck dead.
I'm trying to push that ring.
Top ring, wait.
Yeah, I'm lowering again.
Top ring, wait.
Okay. I'm watching deep.
I spawned deep, guys.
I'm just holding low.
I'm watching first cut. Hold deep for a sec.
Trying.
One's arm mid tank. Caesar's
Let me
top
top
tank. Outer ring on you. Top outer ring.
They stun me?
Yep,
Outer
top outer
ring,
ring.
yeah, our side.
Guys, give me
Yeah,
first.
he's low right,
Second
low
cut, go, 10
Yeah,
points.
he's going down to the ring,
A little bit of discourse chance in the comms, a little bit of confusion at times, but so far so good. Boston Breach going to lock this one down. Defense will hold remaining still for this moment in time, with less than a minute to work with. Dave Paddy, he's in trouble.
Oh,
wow,
my God.
that's up. Wow, that's up. What? Okay, he's gone. Dangerous man to kill.
And if he's winning the impossible gunfights, by the way, he's got 2 players actually sort of coming through these mid-cuts, so you find the opening to the point. Vivid and Dave Paddy have the opportunity to hop this and at least try to keep things close. Everyone for Boston turtle up in the back left right now. Dave jumps over. He spots 4 players, but he takes the chow and he falls. And for Florida, well, now you get wiped out. You still have that P1 control, but no pressure towards the actual point. You need to win a series of gunfights and rolling your way through the front. That's the name of the game.
20 seconds. This is it. Mutineers got to get on the point, trying to slow this one down. A couple of plays there. No, the numbers start to thin. Methodz with the kills. No lives left now for Boston, though, because that could make things different. You have to wait for the reinforcements, though. Sky's got to live. He can't make the play alone. He can't get it done alone. And with him dying, that is it. The play is done. The effort was there, but not enough. We will go to that final round. Boston Breach will remain on defense. They capture the most segments throughout the match. And here we go. One final swing at it. Florida, you had your practice round. Now it's time for the real deal. This is to stay alive in this series.
And I'm telling you, Boston, again, they picked this map. They knew they were getting into. They have a 1-6 record. They had 2 players with like 0.8 KDs. And that means if you're not slaying on this map, until this moment, you would be getting defense or offense, excuse me, guaranteed for the round 5, which obviously Boston, they have not won an offensive round. It is not easy. They've won like 12% of them, something like that. But they're actually decent at capturing the objective, getting a couple ticks so they get that defense. But it is a massive B stack by both teams.
Flying through the beach as we go. Awakening win a big one. Vivid as well. Nero's going to have to back up, get on the defense real quick because here come the Mutineers. They are flying forward indeed. Flag flown high, but that is going to be a set of kills out of Methodz and Nero to slow down the front 2 players up. Skies now has to hold this line down. Keep ringside safe, allow the reinforcements to pour on through. You can see Awakening go towards A, though, for a brief moment chance, trying to keep the members of the Boston Breach guessing.
And funnily enough, Boston, they didn't really rat back for this in time, so they've let players get out onto this B point, trying to go for that P1 control, but Dave is here. I mean, you have Capsidal, he's in their spawn, but if you're out on B, you don't really mind, and a couple big gunfights being won. Sky's still around, he's got Awakening for the cover, and Nero is gonna fall, but the nade from TJ off spawn. I mean, little hero moments like that, just to try to save that point where, I don't even think a single tick has been captured yet, and Awakening's gonna fall. So much effort for Florida, couldn't even get that first tick.
Yeah, I know, and that's 35 seconds remaining here. This could be the end. Over towards A, we finally go. TJ trying to clear out ringside, does get it done. That means B's safe for now. Here comes the pressure towards A, trying to get these players off of it, because again, 34 seconds, a couple of kills, 1 wave of spawns. You've won the match, Boston. Here we go. Trying to make their way towards A. It's a slow and steady approach. Here comes the breach, quite literally, on the bottom side of the ship. TJ's on a spree. Methodz gets the players off point for now. Here comes TJ, still with a hot hand, desperately trying to find the kills. This could be the death knell for the Mutineers here in the series. Cleans out top boat. 2 members remaining down low as the clock keeps on ticking, Chance.
I mean, you just have to massively outslay Florida. Their only hope of winning this is going to be a 4-man wipe to get control. And Awakening, nice gunfight win, maybe to kick things off. And you even have number 8, Vivid, wrapping around to try to get that ring control. That is one of the most important parts of the map. And Zinni, I mean, just guns him to beg. You get the wipe on the hill in Boston. Looking like a hot 3-0 in the series. Keeping their, like, series record alive through stage 2. They're staring at 4-0, Miles. They are doing it.
They're staring at it, and here it goes. The final few seconds. No one is able to get to the point. The Florida Mutineers B hit did not work out. They wasted too much time, sadly, and in the end, it was a final 30 to play with, and the defense was just too much for them. Boston Breach, GG's, a 3-0, and not the most, tremendously decisive there when it came to the control. But hey, man, the segments, Chance, you brought this up. One of the teams that was going to benefit from that major change in control was Boston, and I will say, after that opening round, by the time we got into the second, they were up by 8 segments captured there, guaranteed themselves that round 5 defense.
Yeah, I mean, kills has always been the problem for that team, especially on Gavutu control, but kills aren't the bigger deal anymore. And I mean, honestly, kills wasn't the problem that game. Both Methodz and TJ, putting in work. But I mean, Nero was going on sprees at one point. Capsidal was going on sprees at one point. So, I mean, that is just a well-oiled machine of a team. Happy for the segments change, and Boston, that's their biggest thing, man. Control has been the thorn in their side all year long. They've always been solid at S&D. They've been getting better and better at the hard points, and I mean, they're starting to look a little bit dangerous, man. Separating themselves from the middle of the pack. I don't know if I want to say that they are contender just yet. I know their series against the Royal Ravens will be an incredible one to watch tomorrow and might give us that early indication, but I mean, Boston so far this year have been incredibly impressive.
Very, very impressive. Again, what a debut here in the Call of Duty League for the organization as well, winning fans and quite a strong brand image, has to be said as well. But here we go, looking across the highlights here of this Gavutu control, and it was all Boston. Florida with a nice set of couple of rounds there, but unable to close out those 2 final offensive rounds. A difficult task at the best of times. You got Boston Breach playing as well as they were. A very, very tough one indeed. Mutineers, commiserations once again. This will be a big loss for them, and again, going into that major. For the Boston Breach players, mate, the sky seems to be the limit. That London matchup tomorrow, it is going to be a banger, my friend. You are not wrong.
And I'd say for Florida, I think well, we were talking about this before, Miles. One of the worst things that Florida could have done was lose 3-0 because they're actually doing okay on the maps when it comes to tie breaks. Losing 3-0 is a worst case scenario for Florida in this moment. I still think they might be good for winners bracket. We have to wait for a couple more series to decide it. But I mean, whether or not that's the case, I'd say for Florida, they just struggle against the top teams. I think you get 3-0'd by OpTic. They lost 3-1 to Atlanta FaZe. Now Boston's 3-0 as well. So they have a great deal of success against the team towards the bottom end. But I mean, Florida might just be sort of stuck in that middle of the pack moment. Maybe when the major comes around, they could crank it up for land. But I mean, so far right now, 2-3 record overall for stage 2, subpar.
There's always going to be a dark horse at every single LAN event, and this major upcoming. Can't wait to see you all next week, by the way, friends. It's going to be an absolute treat. But Desk, I want to see you guys. What did you make of that last series, lads?
First off, I can't wait to see you and your little beautiful accent next week, man. I miss you and Chance, by the way. There we go. I thought it was a good series, man. Especially, well, it was a good series for Boston. Florida, in my opinion, is kind of like the same old, same old. We keep the games close, but we just can't close out.
It's just more of a story of Boston just getting better.
Yes.
I mean, we talk about that series. Kind of went as planned. We discussed like maps 1 and 2, the advantage going over towards Boston Breach. They're able to take it out, especially in that game 2. That was a big win on that Desert Siege. But then you look at that game 3. That's really where they made the most improvements. And big shout out to Chance. He was talking about it. If you guys are listening, he was saying how the ticks have completely changed the dynamic for them. They had been losing Gavutu because they didn't have defense when it gets to the round 5. And you know, I didn't really think about that. But yeah, that is a huge difference for them. They're able to just shut them out on their first defense, which stops Florida from getting ticks and then puts them in a prime position to get defense in the very end, because kills, that is what was holding them back from getting defense at the end. And they're able to clutch up and control. Methodz continuously going off 1.74 headed into the map 3 throughout the series. Definitely made it better after that performance.
And close out the map 31-18. I mean, the IGL, the leader, like really stepping up in a big way like that. Oh, Zenny was off for the winning, man. That AR play was beautiful. We actually have a game field post-victory spotlight with the one and only Capsidal. And if you guys have never met this guy in person, he's a sweetheart. Cap, congrats on the big win, man. You guys are 4-0, undefeated in stage 2. The expectations has been through the roof. My question to you is, how does the team feel about that and moving forward? Where do you guys feel like you can be at the end of the day when Major II comes around?
Yeah, moving forward, I think we're in a really good spot. We're obviously 4-0 heading into our last match tomorrow against London, which is a really good team. So I think against our match against London will be the real test to see where we're truly at, because I believe and I speak for the team that we're a top 3 team.
Okay.
Well, there we go. That's a big statement, Capsidal. Getting comfortable. You guys are looking good at 4-0. Got an opportunity to, or you're going to have a fantastic seed regardless of the outcome of tomorrow's match. But I want to ask you about Control, because you guys played Gavutu today. It's been your worst map all season long in game mode. So what made you guys want to play it? Was it the tick update? You feeling more comfortable, or what was going on?
I feel like with the recent update, with it going to ticks, I think our team will actually start winning more controls than we have in the last spin. So since Major 1, we've been trying to crack down control, and I think the tips really benefit our team in general, because our team is really we're really focusing on our teamwork, and I just feel like the tips just help with that, help us with our teamwork a lot.
One more follow-up question to that. I seen you pulling out the auto, a couple rounds of search and destroy, having it in the control. You were having a blast. Do you feel like you could be main AR somewhere at some point in your career?
I don't know. Maybe in the future.
It was looking good, though.
He's not old enough yet. Once you get around 24, 25 in your career, we'll put you on AR.
Get those early reps. There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Take a look at the KD, though, man. Yo, Cap, thumbs up all around. You're killing it. 1.19 of the day. Yo, give Zenny a shout out for me as well. He's been actually going nuts. I'm pretty sure that you're happy with the progress your team has had. What do you want to say to your fans out there, because they're loving you? Twitter is nuts because of you guys.
I mean, hey, man, the fans are amazing. The support we have in general is actually just mind-blowing to us. I really appreciate it. I think everyone else appreciates it too. Just keep supporting us, man. We're gonna finish out strong. We're gonna head into the major, and we're gonna do our thing.
That's smart, rookie, right there, man. Yeah, yo, Cap, I can't wait to see you in Minnesota. You take it easy, all right? Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Oh, anytime. And so you want to talk about dominant performances as well. The AR play from Boston was beautiful, that last map in control. And actually the scuff play of the game was when Boston said, nah, Florida, you're not getting any points from us.
Yeah, and these are going to be the most important rounds now. I mean, they completely shut them out. I mean, this is I think our producer said it was a 92-second round of control. It's one of the fastest rounds we've had ever, and they don't allow Florida to get a single tick. And this is what's going to put you in prime position. If you can come out on your first defense of the map map and shut a team out, stop them from getting any ticks, you are in such a good position for that round 5 defense. Defense can be so overpowered in the nature of control in this game, and that's what Boston Breach did. We saw Capsidal get pushed up towards Cliff. He had an SMG and an AR in his hands, flip-flopping back and forth. You can get put in that spawn blender so easily. So the early round, especially on offense, you have to be on point. You have to take your time and try to avoid that trap. Because if you get in that trap, you're in a terrible spot.
You got that right. I was taking a look at the players at the beginning of the game, and I'm taking a look at even their face cams. Yo, okay, this isn't a diss to them, but like Skies and Vivid, like going against the teamwork of Boston, they were being shut down early, and especially when it came to big sprees from Boston, there was no catching up to them, right? But let's see if Boston can continue on this type of streak against London tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, Cap versus Afro is gonna be crazy, but what's gonna be even crazier is the next matchup. We actually have the Los Angeles Guerrillas, and we're gonna see if another LA team that's gonna be on screen today is gonna pull out a big win in a big way, because they're gonna need it. It's gonna be against OpTic Texas. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenni. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenni.com/CDL. Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League. Welcome to Call of Duty League Resurgence, Rebirth Island. You versus the 12 CDL orgs. To be the best, you've got to beat the best. Sign up through April 7th to stand up and be counted. Those who dare win.
One we go. Dashy coming through with the pistol. That's going to be nearly the first. Pulls out the pistol and gets it done after
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. OpTic Texas is about to take the stage against LAG, but here on the desk, yes, once again, we're missing aLLeY. She's out today. She's not feeling so good. aLLeY, we miss you. Hurry the hell up and come back, okay? My name is Velly. This is Nameless. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I believe so. Los Angeles Guerrillas, a team where they found some success here and there. The team can be streaky en route to wins, right? But going against a team like OpTic Texas, I mean, once that wall gets built, like, they shut teams out immediately.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic Texas has been lights out. We talked about it earlier on the pre-show, how good they've been, and they continuously are improving, especially on an individual basis. Like, we've seen players like iLLeY and Shotzzy really come into their own. Scump lately in Search and Destroy, he's been lights out. And they're testing out their map pool. I mean, in this series, once again, there's a Desert Siege, and there's no better team to play Desert Siege against than an LAG team that has been struggling in Search and Destroy. So for OpTic Texas, is about, like, you know, finding those maps, getting better, and just being basically unbeatable. They're trying to do what Atlanta FaZe did last year, get every map to a point where they feel comfortable playing any team on it. And for the game field keys to victory, Dashy continue to put up MVP numbers. He's the best player in this game. He's shown it throughout, you know, Major I finals and throughout Major II qualifiers. 1.32 KD at this stage, picked up right where he left off. Expand your S&D map pool before the Major. 1-1 on Bocage, 0-2 on Desert Siege. What maps do we have in this series? Desert Siege and Bocage. So they're doing just that. And then Advantage Green Wall in map 3. 12-game control win streak. They've won their last 12 controls. That's 12 series in a row where they've dominated control. In this series, they have Gab, a map that they haven't played as much. So, you know, going into this, that could be them trying to expand their map pool once again, although they're already 3-0 on it.
That's stupid. Yo, by the way, for those of you at home, you want to know how crazy that stat is? They're currently 12-1 when it comes to control. That means after their first loss, they never lost again on control. OpTic closes out games, and
literally,
hey, control is their bread and butter, baby, but they're going to be facing Los Angeles Guerrillas, a team that can catch you off guard if one of these players catch hotness. And take a look at this team. They got a big win over Thieves in what, a game 5?
Yeah, you know, they did it by winning 2 hard points. They played pretty good throughout that series. We've seen Simp popping off. Slasher had one of his best series that we've seen thus far.
Yeah.
Gunless, who statistically has been the best player on this team since the beginning, will not be playing today, so they're going to have Spart. But Spart is a guy who has a ton of experience. experience, won the Cold War Challenger Finals. He had some cup wins last year, a bunch of different times, played with players like Saints, Drazah. So he has experience, and he's coming in on extreme short notice to fill some big shoes. So that's going to be tough.
You got that right. Coming into this year, LAG, they had a facelift. The team last year just wasn't cutting it. Shout out to my boy Mental, you just didn't make it, man. But for this team, yeah, they struggled at the beginning of the year, but now we're starting to see all the talk that we've been having about them this year. They're going absolutely insane. Asim is so consistent now, and seeing Slasher really get into the fold, this team looks entirely different. It's going to be a blow that Gunless isn't here because, in my opinion, he's their strongest player. Agreed. But I still want to see small moral victories, even if they can't win this game.
Yeah, and for the keys to victory for LAG, develop your Gavutu hardpoint game. LAG holding only 53% of hills on Gavutu. They're 11th in the league. So going into this series, that being map number 1, it definitely has to be something to focus on. But despite that, they're still 2-1 on Gavutu, so they've had success there before. And then also take advantage of the control switch. LAG 3rd in KD on offensive control, but 11th on offensive win percentage. So, you know, in the previous version of control, that was actually fantastic because you can ensure like defense at the very end if you're getting a lot of kills. But now, you know, get those kills and get on the point, stack it, get those ticks to, you know, get that advantage later on. Then also hit Tuscan hardpoint with the hot veto. OpTic 6-0 on the map this season. Well, unfortunately, that's map number 4. So they already played Tuscan. I think, you know, it was a tough decision between Bocage and Tuscan for LAG, and they just decided to get rid of Bocage.
All right, seeing Spart on the roster. Hey, let's see if this works out. Who knows? Maybe this might inject something new into LAG in this match because they're definitely going to need it. And when it comes to pick'ems right now, Nameless, I mean, outright, I think we can both comfortably say the Green Wall are looking like the strongest team right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they are testing out some map stuff, so there's some room for error here. Maybe in the Desert Siege, we'll see. Even like map 1 could be a little bit weird. So I'm going to go 3-1 OpTic Texas. I still think they end up closing it out. Even in their first match when they were testing maps versus LA Thieves, they closed it out in the game 5. So I have a lot of faith in this team now. They've proven it.
Best team in the game, best players in the game, OpTic 3-0. I mean, that's just it. I mean, the lady's singing right now. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump right into the game. Let's send this over to my boys Lando and Standy. Fellas, take it away.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, this is going to be an interesting series. As we said, Jay, the quick pivot made out of the LA Guerrillas bringing in Spart for Gunless. We wish the absolute best to Big P. Hope he is ready to fry when it comes to the Minnesota Major. But how do you feel about this matchup, right? For OpTic Texas, you know, testing out the vetoes a little bit. Meanwhile, they're in the race for the first seed versus a Boston Breach team who just got a 3-0.
Yeah, I was super excited about this matchup when we first saw it, like going into today. Obviously, you got the best team in the game in OpTic Texas, undefeated since they're basically their 3rd match in Major II Qualifiers. Insane stat coming in from the best team in the game, but they're going up against the LAG team who have found a lot of success throughout stage 2, but they're losing their most consistent player in every game mode, Gunless. He's unfortunately going to be out with the illness, like you said, so Spart has to come in today. And like, this is a difficult series because if you're Spart, this is super quick. You got to go up against the best team in the game and to try to perform at your best, probably not knowing as much of the team strategy or the game plan going into this. So it's basically going to be all raw skill coming in from Spart. So the player that I think needs to step up to a whole different level today has to be aBeZy. aBeZy is unreal so far throughout stage 2, more specifically on this map, Gavutu. Believe it or not, he's the 3rd AR on this team for LAG, and he's putting up the best KD right now with a 1.15. He needs to have the same exact impact here.
Yeah, but he'll pull up the MP40 for our opening hill, and for good reason, as we love to say it. P1 is basically a money hill on a majority of maps as the final 1v1 comes into Hook versus Shotzzy, a constant battle that we will see throughout this series, as it will be Shotzzy answering early for OpTic Texas. Into the mix we go, and as we said, a lot of the focus is going to be onto that man Spart, not making his CDL debut, not making his LAG debut, but making his debut for this team as Dashy puts away 4. Spart making his debut in Vanguard. I was going to say for a moment, Dashy did not look to be in a great position, but he answers through early. Jay, there's no time to talk about information. There's no stats to throw out here either. Dashy is piecing, and we are into the mix. A great start at P1 for Texas, as now it's time for bottom bow.
And one thing that really scares me is when you're going up against this OpTic Texas team is how much slaying power they have on this roster. If you're LAG, you've been playing great throughout stage 3. aBeZy really has just been stepping up to a whole different level. need to have that same slaying impact because you need to try to take one of these hard points. With a brand new player on your team, S&D is going to be a little funky, and then you're going up against the best team in control. So one of the hard points needs to go in favor of LAG, but like Nameless said on the desk, I feel like OpTic should be able to walk away with it in less than 5.
Yeah, we'll see what LAG looked to provide us with. As we said, a team that has struggled in the holding percentage for hard points, and so far that is being tested right now at the bottom side of the boat and doing a good job at holding off a few of the pushes that OpTic look to make. Texas will have the spawns prepared for B. Just unfortunately takes a little bit of a tumble off the map. I think that's what ends up causing the overall fight to be traded on out, but so far a pretty even game throughout a majority of it. Hills being traded either which way, and Hook looks to try to make the play now toward the flank, as that will be the focus out of the Guerrillas end. We'll see if they can get it done. Great work from P1, and now they'll have the close spawns as well toward the back.
This is where it can get scary because OpTic, they know. They wanted to give that back. They want to fight for top ring control. They are trying to flip these spawns immediately and chain it to that P4 hardpoint, but LAG to do a great job at securing this time, finding every single kill in the feed. Now with 35 seconds left, this is going to allow Slasher to potentially make a play on the flank. He gets taken down, so all of OpTic trying to attack this from the front, but with 30 seconds left, you have to make sure someone's playing safe, rotating towards Cliff, because that P4 is a money hill.
Without question, Asim able to drop 1 toward P1 after being traded out. So overall, a net positive hill without question for the Guerrillas. We were talking about how it did not look good in the early stages of that HP, but they break from the back, and it's going to work out quite nicely. iLLeY sitting toward the top side of the gun, as they'll try to slow down that push that the Guerrillas were going to have to make. It's a long jaunt throughout the middle map of Gavutu. Quite a few steps that you're going to have to take. A journey indeed, as Scump will look now to try to silence him. Cuts down the newcomer in Spart, and that will free up the lanes for OpTic Texas. A great little play there, a great sequence for OpTic Texas to go on. But LAG now up close. We'll see what they can do. Now as 3 strong come through the cliff.
Yeah, LAG, they're just trying to flood through cliffside, trying to attack this from the front, forcing all of OpTic to basically be trapped in the back. But look at number 7, Shotzzy, the route man, is able to push his way all the way through ring, finds that kill onto aBeZy. That's going to be 3 dead. Last player up is at Cliff. So the spawns are still not going to be in the back for for LAG. But if you're Shotzzy, this has been great work to allow your teammates to get out of this back spawn. If he can pick up this kill, that's even better. But aBeZy takes him down. OpTic, they retake control of the lead. Now you just have to start thinking about that rotation.
Do indeed, and as we said, it cannot be understated how important that this hard point is from this LAG side, a team that won both the hard points yesterday versus the LA Thieves. Jay, you and I were impressed with their play, their tenacity, right, to bring it back after being down 2-1 in the series. And the primary guy that led the way was Asim in that opening Tuscan hardpoint, already off to a great showing at 12-10. He and the boys look to hold on to this money hill at P5.
And so far, they're doing a great job of doing so. OpTic still have the spawns coming in toward back red tower, as they're able to break in on this hard point. aBeZy trying to do everything he can to cause problems, but OpTic right now up by a good 13 seconds or 28 seconds left. You have to start thinking about those rotations. Let's step aside now. OpTic have a 20-point lead. Here are the comms are sounding.
Guys, I'm gonna need help P1.
Yeah, here, there.
I'm going their side though.
I'm going our side. I'm
playing like a rat P1.
Yeah, get back top ship.
No top boat. One could have got through me,
Yeah, one guy could be P1, guys. I only have their side, okay?
I'm
their side
yeah,
P1.
he's our here.
You
try to give me top. Absolute. I could probably get an angle.
I'm pinching.
No, what is P4?
I got 1.
What is that?
On me.
Yeah, I'm still holding time.
On me, bunker.
Yo, one shot.
Bunker, Kyler, right now.
Wait, their side.
You guys should go
Our side. He went P4. He probably goes up.
Are you? Yeah, I'm needing it. I'm going from mid-stairs. Yeah, watch your. Yeah, I'm going from mid-stairs as well. Yo, our rock. Our side. We're gonna be our side. We're gonna be our side. Our side as well.
There's stairs. Weak.
Our side.
We're looking for one.
Our side not challenging.
Yeah, I'll take the guy our side.
And mid-stairs. Yeah, keep ironing it. One guy's our side.
I don't see him our side.
One's their side also. Our side.
Wait, Ender, I have help.
Green time.
Take your time. I'm needing it. I need outer set. He's there.
I needed enter.
Outer challenge me. Our side. He's green. Good shit, set.
Yeah.
Oh, when is that?
Set really good 25.
Alright, when is it? When is it new? What is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
we can push you out. We can push you out as well. I saw never set that on team.
Yo, what's up P5?
I said their side.
Flash. He's at the boxes.
He's nading over, I think, Ender.
Are you?
He's like
I don't see him set.
He's like, I think he's on top of man.
I'm nading. I'm watching outside.
How about these comms out of OpTic Texas? They know where everybody is. You take a step on the map, they know exactly where you are headed. A great little moment there for OpTic as they reinforce the lead in map 1 of this series. Let's go ahead and see how the comms are sounding on the other end. The listed now with the Guerrillas.
Can he be hold?
These guys want
I'm looking zig.
I spawn Cliff. I think we'll start beginning on me, guys.
Get him. I'm seeing. Yo, back
Beat on tank, done.
I'm seeing top green.
Nice, good job.
You're still in the pin.
Yo, mid stairs, Ender, that's him.
That's him. Where's the other one?
Seth. He's there, mid stairs.
That's probably close.
Hey, get me close, I'm looking. I'm shouting out. Yo, he's beat on you. Their side beat on. Another guy there, hold. Back there, green. I got one there. Low propane. Okay,
I got low propane. Dashy, top green.
They beat on, done.
Top green, Dashy, last gap.
Top green, child me.
I'm getting to you guys.
I'm trying to stay down. I'm helping you on it.
He's on me in time.
Shotzy's above you.
Beat on top. I'm on you guys.
Top
and beat on.
Last two are old.
I'm on you guys.
We gotta help him.
Beat on. He's still
Yo, we can get your top gun. I got your top gun.
I'm spawning deepest.
Give me shortcut.
In the back, Ender, one shot. Absolutely beat on.
Another one flying at you. Weak.
Dead.
One's gonna work up ring on you.
Is he?
Weak old.
Yo, he got me in the back. He's flying at you, Ender dead.
What's the ring?
We gotta help Austin.
Both of these listeners between both of these teams were intense, but you can just tell, you can feel that LAG have a different roster in this series because all three of their main players are just stepping up in the comms. Spart is just sinking in like, all right, I'm watching this, but everyone else is stepping up, giving the little small talks like, hey, I'm watching the back, make sure you watch the front. You even heard Hook just basically shut down Spart in one situation. He was trying to pick up a cut and Hook said, no, I got that, don't worry about it. You can just tell that LAG, they're into this game. The only thing is it's not really leading up to points is OpTic. They were able to hit this rotation over towards P3, and now they have a 60-point lead. Shotzzy on the flank finds 2. This remaining 20 seconds should go in favor of OpTic.
Yeah, difficult spot already for the Guerrillas. I mean, what, they try to contest that. They get brought down early, but they're staring at the hill. They got 40 seconds. It's like, guys, I know we have to try to break this, but it just doesn't look likely. Both waves get shut down, and just like that, OpTic Texas fly their way into the lead. 30 seconds left before this one is going to be called theirs. A team that often dominates opening hard points. They love to come out and punch you in the mouth. We'll see if LAG, in fact, can be lights out toward the stretch of this hard point, locking things down right now over toward the back tower. Seam specifically now sitting on 2 in a row, has to do the work with the pistol, not successful in doing it. OpTic break from the front, and they have got great control. A W absolutely can happen here as the Guerrillas will do everything in their power to stop what just feels like a momentum train on the Texas side.
Yeah, but LAG, they were able to do a great job of just using that trap to their advantage. Now all of OpTic spawning out towards the back. If you're iLLeY, you have to try to hit this route. And I know you guys probably feel a little frustrated with me every time I keep saying the route, but it's the purple. It's throwing me off. Let me tell you, the purple is so identical. OpTic are able to find 3 kills, able to break in with about 15 seconds remaining on that point. They're not able to close it out here, but they're going to get pretty damn close to that 250 mark.
It's okay, Jay. You're just seeing a purple team just get handled in hard point. It's just the way that it. I'm sorry, Marky B. I shouldn't have said that. That's on me, buddy. I apologize for the slander, but no, 3 points left for OpTic Texas. Calls this game theirs. Scump is absolutely frying most kills in the lobby. Sits at 25 and 16. He's waiting for the rest of the teammates to try to join alongside of him, but there is Hook with the answer. Again, 40 very valuable points for the Guerrillas, but with only 3 more points remaining for OpTic. We'll see what LAG have brewed on up. That's going to be control as they finally do hop inside of the hill. Streaks would be massive, but just cut down 1 short. That's got to hurt on the LAG end, but with 20 seconds left, OpTic may look to go for the break or for the rotation. It appears that they have multiple players thinking about either scenario.
Yeah, they've done both. Shotzzy wins a huge 1-on-1, make it a huge 2-piece coming in towards this rotation of this P1 hardpoint. As OpTic are not going to try to contest P5 any longer, but LAG, they need to get their step on it. They need to break in now.
It's going to have to be now. It's going to have to be this moment. Final seconds, and that will be the game. An uphill battle for LAG toward the end of this hardpoint, but OpTic Texas, despite not playing a Gavutu yet throughout our Major II qualifiers, will already end things out at a perfect 1-0 record. You love to see it, but again, it's difficult, right, Jay? As we talked about it, right? Guerrillas with a substitute. We heard it in the comms. Everybody getting vocal. It's hard to take a lot. Obviously, if you're an LAG fan, it's hard to take a look at this series and be like, yeah, they should have done this differently. Given the fact that it's a new roster, not a bad performance. And a player like Spart, -6. And as we said, versus the best team right now in the game.
Definitely not a bad performance from LAG. I think the biggest hard point in between both of these teams on that map, number one, had to be the P1. OpTic were able to do a great job of it the first go around, and the second go around, LAG, they were actually early to the rotation, but then OpTic do a great job of just finding all those kills. They were able to get at least a good 40 seconds on the second rotation of that P1, and that was the game changer, because once you find all that time on that P1, you'll be able to at least chain a couple seconds to that P2, especially if you control the spawns chaining towards that back P3. OpTic was just in control from start to finish of this game. The biggest turning point though, like if Hook was able to pick up that potential glide bomb top ship, it probably would have got a little scary for OpTic rotating towards P1, but OpTic, they do what they need to do. Shotzzy finds himself early in rotation, picks up the first, and then finds the second to win that rotation battle and eventually close out this map number one for OpTic.
Yeah, and really at this point in the game, right, where if we were to freeze frame it at like 118 to 172, it just never really felt panicked from